Hey, Mystic Michaela spiritual family. Welcome to Know Your Aura with Mystic Michaela. Today, are you a starseed? We are going to deep dive into what a starseed aura looks like to me, my interpretations of it, and also we're going to get some amazing information from Mystic Michaela spiritual family members who are starseeds. But first, hey, Scotty.
Hey, guys. Well, every day I truly believe more and more that I am a starseed.
You've been saying this.
I've been saying this for a while now.
Yeah.
I know I'm red and blue. Those are my colors.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just feeling so much disconnect.
And the more we talk about, I think, starseeds, the less you think it's nonsense. The more you're like, well, maybe that's me. I resonate.
Yeah, I'm resonating with this term.
Right.
So the question is then, what is a starseed?
What is a starseed?
What is there? There's a lot of definitions out there.
Mm-hmm.
And it just depends what source you go to. But this is what I found. Okay, so a starseed is basically an individual who is believed to have originated from a distant galaxy.
Okay,
so or a distant planet, right, within that galaxy, right?
Okay.
They're sent to Earth with a specific mission and purpose.
Yeah.
Okay. So far, okay, this is making sense.
Are you guys resonating?
I'm resonating.
Okay,
yes.
yeah.
This is rooted in the idea that these individuals possess unique spiritual gifts and abilities that set them apart from humans.
Okay,
so that's like kind of the basic definition of a starseed.
Mm-hmm.
You can go to a lot of other sources, get a lot of other definitions. But that is kind of like a concise, to the point definition. All right, when did the term come about? All right, there was this guy named Brad Steiger. He was born in 1936, passed in 2018, and he was an American writer. We got his picture. If you want to tell us his colors in a second, you can. Paranormal writer, big into the UFOs, true crime. You know, he went on my favorite radio station that I've never listened to, Coast to Coast AM.
Yes.
And in 1970, he coined the term star people, starseeds. I think it was on the radio show, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I apologize. And that's basically where this term takes place.
Okay.
So in the 1970s, you get this idea that these people, that people on Earth are from different, we won't call them people, beings on Earth are from different galaxies. His contemporaries thought he was a little bit out there. He believed in things like Atlantis was a real place.
Right.
I don't know if people still believe that
they
today
do.
or not. Okay, so there you go. He was putting that out there. And his critics were basically saying he lacked scientific evidence for any of these things that he was saying.
Okay.
So
The usual.
I don't know. I think you looked up his colors.
I did. I looked at his picture and he was green purple, obviously. But he used to wear a little red. So I think with him, he had these fascinations and these interests, being green, kind of seeing the perspective from a more logical, practical way, but also being purple, tapping into the creativity and the intuition, and also enjoying people's experiences as a medium of creativity and whatnot. But then the red I see on him, of course he wanted to promote this, make it part of, how he got like a business or how he pushed it forward might have been a little bit more red aura, meaning salesy or, let's do it. So I can see where people would say, oh, he's full of it. And that's the thing. Like I believe in the starseed thing. I think it's a real thing depending on how, and I'm going to talk about my own interpretations of it because that's all I can do. Based on what I've seen, there's something to it myself. But I feel like, he put it in a package where it actually was deliverable to a wider audience, where might something have been existed for a very long time, but without the correct marketing or packaging. And he gave that to it. So he put it in a little nugget, sent it out there, and we're still talking about it today in different ways.
Okay. So if you want to look him up, it's Brad Steiger. He came up with the term, and then, like you said, then it takes on a life of its own.
Yeah.
So you could research for hours upon hours and hours and get all this information on starseeds. And obviously people are going to have differences of opinions on what it's all about.
Mm-hmm.
But myself, I'm feeling a little starseed.
So you've been saying this.
Yes.
So and later on in the episode, I'm going to tell you my own interpretations based on what I see. But let's talk about some starseed signs.
Okay.
So these are some reasons, some feelings that you may feel like a starseed, and Everyone at home, pay attention too. All right. So the first one, we'll start easy with you. Vivid dreams of other worlds or flashbacks, memories of things that don't make sense to this world.
Well, I don't really dream.
Okay.
So that's a no for me.
All right.
I don't have. Yeah.
Or like memories or unexplained, like that doesn't make sense. Yeah.
No.
Okay, none of that.
None of that.
You know, the only time I get those is when I'm reading somebody who has like starseed tendencies, and I'll see weird flashbacks or weird visions pop into my head that don't make sense to this world or this reality.
So if you're doing a reading, and I don't know how many starseeds you've read.
Not a lot.
But anytime that they have been, I guess.
Sometimes they get
these.
Yeah, like very odd flashbacks or visions that would feel like to other people past life stuff, but their past life stuff feels, I'm like, that doesn't compute with how I have experienced reality. Okay. And let's see. Another one would be, a strong connection to space exploration. Like you're fascinated with it. You want to know more about it. You're really interested in like these rocket trips that go out there, the astronauts stuck in space. Like this is something you're obsessed with.
I have to say I'm terrified of space.
Okay.
Most people know that listen to the podcast.
Yeah.
I sometimes will read the articles, but then I have to put them down because it terrifies me. So I'm going to say no to that one too.
I don't know, because like fear can be an interest. Yeah. You know, just because like fear is an obsession, like fear does mean you're interested.
But I think if I was having that starseed characteristic, I'd be wanting to like
that's true.
Apply for the program.
Correct.
And become a rich billionaire and go up into one of those capsules.
I agree with that. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Interest in ancient civilizations, like a strong attraction to civilizations such as Atlantis, Lemuria, or civilizations that we know existed through research.
Yeah, that's another no for me. When I was teaching history, that was my least favorite topic to teach.
Really?
Yeah. Well, remember I taught 9th grade one year. All classes 9th grade. I had 5 9th grade classes.
Yeah.
And it was all ancient history. I was so sick of talking about like Babylonians and Sumerians.
Oh, I love that
ancient
stuff.
Egyptians. So it's another no.
Okay, that's interesting. All right. And how about this? We'll do this for last one. Like you're drawn to certain symbols, like ancient or cosmic symbols, or even something called sacred geometry, patterns that underline creation, patterns that reoccur on nature.
Yeah, no, never was into the math. And geometry, I think I flunked that.
No, it's like sacred geometry, like circles on top of each other. There's like certain shapes. If you guys are interested, you could look into this because it's just this like triangles and things that have existed forever throughout ancient times to now.
Yeah, I always think like someone is playing a hoax when they do those things.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to go with another no.
Like ancient emojis, like that kind of thing?
Right. Yeah, I'm going to say, ancient emojis. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to say no to that too. So according to this, I'm not really starseed at all.
Okay. Well, these were, but then there's some that do fit you.
Okay.
Like feeling an aversion to conformity.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, I always call you the contrarian. Or a feeling of being different from your peers. Like you don't understand why other people are the way they are.
Well, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
Or you are really into dematerialization. You don't want, you're against the need to always more, money, constant acquiring of things.
Okay. Yeah,
like
that's
that.
True.
Those are all starseed things too. And then drawn to spirituality.
Okay.
Which you are in a way. You know, you're here.
So there is still hope for me.
There's hope for you.
That I could be a starseed.
You could be.
Well, I found an anonymous quiz.
Oh.
It's anonymous.
What?
This quiz, we don't know who the creator is. It could be a person. It could be alien, not human.
How'd you find this?
I have no idea. I kind of find it. There was like I found it on a scroll.
What?
Yeah.
A scroll?
I found it on a scroll.
Just hanging out?
Yes.
Whoa.
Yeah, and some of the letters are missing and some of the words, but all it says, it was created by ROZ7134.
Interesting.
ROZ7134 is the creator.
Okay.
No name, just some letters and numbers.
That's wild.
All right. It's a yes and no quiz. So all you have to do is say yes.
Okay.
Or no. To
Easy.
These. Okay.
Easy
so
for all of us.
If you're doing this at home and you want to see if you're a starseed, this is, I think, one of the greatest sources you're going to find. And it's just yes or no.
Okay.
So the first question on this quiz says, do you think that Keanu Reeves was a good actor in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure?
Okay.
Do you think he was a good actor in that movie?
I mean, for the part, yes.
So you're saying yes, he was.
Well, the more you watch it, the better it is. And I like Keanu.
Okay. And
so yes.
So yes. There's also a follow-up that says, did you think Matrix 4 was a good movie? That was the one that they made many years after the original 3. And they put like another one on it. And they kind of changed the whole directory of the first 3 movies.
Yeah.
Were you able to get through the Matrix 4?
I wasn't.
Okay.
But you're literally never going to catch me ever saying one bad thing about Keanu Reeves.
Okay.
But
all right, so we're going to put you down as one yes.
Okay, yeah, I like that.
All right, question number 2 by ROZ7134 states, you understand the marriage between Lana Del Rey and the airboat guy from Louisiana.
I absolutely do.
Makes perfect sense to you.
Totally perfect sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's no doubts on that. It just makes sense.
It makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, it makes sense to me.
Makes sense. Okay, so you're a yes.
Yes, I'm a yes.
Okay. All right. When you saw the movie E.T. and E.T. said, E.T. go home, you wanted to go with him as well.
No.
You would have boarded the ship.
No.
You're a no on that one.
I'm a no.
You're a no. Okay, so 2 yeses and a no, and the bonus question was a yes for you too.
Okay.
Okay. Question number 4. All right. Do you feel that the Met Gala is the most self-indulgent, pompous, egotistical, self-absorbed, self-serving, vainglorious event and should never be allowed to happen again?
Yes, but I still like to look at all the outfits. So that's like very un-Starseed of me, I think.
So you're saying that they should continue this event?
I like just the outfits. Like, why does it have to be famous people dressed up? Like, why can't people just come out in beautiful clothes and we just watch them?
So you're saying regular people should come out in these outfits?
Yeah, I'm there for the outfits.
Okay.
And the theme. I think that's interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you're like
I'm there for the art. Because you know me, fashion queen.
All right. And the last question. Do you believe Alex Honnold, he's the guy that climbed El Cap in Yosemite without a rope. Do you believe that Alex Honnold climbed El Cap without a rope because he was a Polarian starseed and not, in fact, human at all?
Whoa.
So, because I always say, he's the one guy.
Yeah.
That this guy's not human.
He's not human.
He's above us all. Everyone else, no, I don't care. But for him,
wow,
he's amazing.
Thanks. Okay.
So, and Polarian starseeds, they tend to be tall in height, long, exaggerated, like fingers and things like that.
Okay.
And they are quick to ascend.
Ooh.
Very quick to ascend.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
That would make sense. I wouldn't rule it out.
So you believe he can possibly be a Polarian starseed?
I possibly believe that.
All right. So you're basically at 4 out of 5 yeses.
I know I'm not a starseed, though.
No. Well, yeah, because you didn't get all 5.
Okay.
So, yes, it does. At the end of the quiz, our ROZ7134 states that if you said yes to all 5, then you, in fact, are starseed.
Whoa. I bet a lot of our listeners might have qualified.
For this quiz, I actually got yes for all 5.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, actually, the ET one.
You wouldn't go home with
so
ET.
I was 4 out of 5. I lied. So,
okay.
So
that's fascinating, Scott. Thanks for bringing us that important test and quiz.
All right.
I appreciate you. All right. When we come back, I'm going to deep dive into Starseed auras. Everything showers are necessary for my self-care. And I have found the new must-have element to my everything shower. It is Osea's new Undaria LJ body wash. I am very sensitive to smells. I don't like those chemical smells that other body wash products can give you. But this is, as with all of Osea's products, has a tropical paradise, uplifting, citrusy scent, does not give me a headache. Also, the lather is amazing. It's pH balanced. It's hydrating formula that doesn't strip my skin. I mean, it just leaves me feeling soft and renewed. I feel like $1,000,000 coming out of that shower. Sometimes I'll go in, I need a little pick-me-up. I need to feel better. I need to feel clean. I need to feel like I can take on the day. And this is what Osea's new Undaria LJ body wash can do. And it's the same iconic and uplifting citrusy scent as the best-selling Undaria LJ body oil, which is the perfect follow-up after this everything shower, with uplifting notes of grapefruit, lime, and cypress blended with sweet notes of mango, mandarin. It's the scent of summer, but all year round. Upgrade your shower with clean, vegan face and body care from Osea. Get 10% off your first order site-wide with code KYA at OseaMalibu.com. You'll get free samples with every order and free shipping on orders over $60. Head to OseaMalibu.com and use code KYA for 10% off. Welcome to the Starseed deep dive episode. Okay, so let me preface all of this by saying I can only tell you what I see. So anything, let's back it up a little, anything I do on the podcast about auras or psychic stuff or mediumship stuff or starseed stuff, the way that I do it personally is I tell you what I see. I don't go out there and research it. I'm not taking other people's thoughts or studies or what they've written about how they interpret it and used it as my own. That is a conscious choice I make in this podcast for anything I talk about. And Starseeds falls into that. So the thing is with Starseeds is there's a lot out there. Like you can go down a whole rabbit hole and it is fun, and you go have the time of your life going down a rabbit hole and you're going to hear lots of different things. I'm just giving you how I see starseeds because starseeds show up in aura colors, in the energy that you wear around you or your energy signature. Starseeds, the way I see them, again, this whole episode is going to be Mystic Michaela's interpretations. All right, so the way that I see starseeds or define starseeds for myself is, and I guess like your soul or your life energy. It feels to me like this is not this, you haven't been, in this human lifetime for a very long time. So you have to kind of believe in reincarnation. Okay. So the way that I see it is we all reincarnate and most of us stay kind of like in this earth plane on this timeline, whatever you want to call it. And we're pretty consistent in it. In this dimension, and we're pretty consistent in it. And when I see starseeds, they feel like they're from, there's lots of words you could use for this. They're from another dimension, or they're from another planet, or they're from another timeline even. And their energy feels new to this current one than the rest of us have been on quite a few times. So I hope that makes sense. So that's just how it feels to me. Like they feel like newbies to me. Like they feel a little new. And the way that I was seeing them is I would see either crystal, like a crystalline color around them. So, when you look at those crystals that hang from windows, it looks like that. Or I would see kind of a rainbow around them. And then I would see them wearing colors to kind of like fit in. So they would, maybe they have rainbow, but then they're covering up with some purple or whatever, because they do have to fit in. So this is how I see them with my third eye and my eyes. Like this is how I see them. But I have not seen a lot of them. And I did an episode at the very beginning of this podcast. At that point, maybe I'd just seen a handful. Luckily and fortunately, I've been able to read a lot more people and notice a lot more things out there. So I've seen more. But again, it's not a lot. It's really not a lot. And they're kind of loners. That's the other thing I've noticed with the starseeds that I see. They're kind of loners. So they don't usually travel in packs. So it's not like they all get together and starseed together. Like I notice a lot of aura colors tend to. Actually, like greens tend to find each other, yellows trying to find each other, turquoises tend to find each other. Starseeds feel different to me. Now, I feel like, here's the deal. This is my second caveat. I feel like a lot of the stuff that we're going to talk about with this Starseed deep dive, you're going to relate to. And it's because I do feel that our energy ourselves have, again, back to reincarnation, like you yourself, your energy has been to, different life forms, different planets, different timelines, different dimensions yourself, to me, it just feels like that might have been a while ago. And your energy now is more recently human. And then starseeds are, again, more recently to this human experience currently. And I'm not counting out, by the way, and this is where I get real CPL, crazy psychic lady. Here we go. I'm not counting out different timelines where things work differently. So same earth plane, different timeline. I'm not counting out different dimensions, whatever that is. And I'm not counting out different planets or life form experiences in different galaxies. Okay. I'm not counting out any of that. I just feel like most of us have a similar eternal soul that's been doing this in this current way over and over again, and starseeds don't. All right. I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, I don't know what to say because it's already a CPL episode. All right. So I guess like what I've personally noticed about them is back to how I see them. So when I see like somebody with a crystal kind of aura, they feel kind of new, like brand new-ish, not a brand new bunch of energy. They actually feel like ancient and old energy. They just feel like almost as if they've traveled to this current life or this current timeline / dimension / planet. And this is maybe just the first of a handful of lifetimes here. And rainbows feel like they've been around a little longer than that, but still new. All right. That's just what it, again, and it's hard for me to put what it feels like into better words than that. When I read them, they're different because a couple things. Usually when I read, you guys, I don't get past life stuff. And I say this all the time. I don't get past life stuff. I really don't. Like sometimes I'll get flashes of it, or sometimes I'll get something that like pops in that's resonates with your life now. Like, oh my gosh, you used to do this and I'm just seeing you in this, and that's why this is happening. So sometimes I'll see past life stuff, but with starseeds, the past life stuff looks really weird to me. It doesn't, like, if I get a vision, and again, I haven't read a ton of these people, but if I do get like one of these pop-up visions, it looks like a sci-fi movie or something that I've never seen before. Like it doesn't compute with my own brain. And so I'll tell you what I see, but I sound psychotic. Usually when I tell people this, they're like, oh, okay, yeah, I've had that dream too. And you're just like, okay, all right. Anyways, and then the other thing that's really crazy about when I read starseed people is somebody else is talking to me and I don't know how else to say that. So usually like if I read you and you're not a starseed, I get, your dead people come through, your spirit guides come through, like that stuff. But with starseeds, then I get something else. I get like a different set of, I don't even know what to call it. It's like a different set of higher vibrational beings that come through, and they come in from a different way. Because I've talked about this before. Usually I get a lot of my messages on my right side. Like I'll just like, there's messages in my head that I'll get from my own life, like Megan's, Mystic Michaela's thinking like that. But then when I do a reading, like all my messages come from, I don't know. I'm sounding nuts. I'm just going with it. They come in from, and I think I've talked about this before, from my right side, like in, but starseeds, it's different. It's above, it's somewhere else. It's different beings talking to me. They don't feel like the regular spirit guides, which I'm very used to their energy by now. So that's different. And the other thing I get is they tend to get downloads, and we all get like a download. So if you think about that, it's like an idea, like, oh, like a light bulb moment or an aha moment or whatever. That's like an example of a download. And then you don't realize it right away. And then you sit with it and then it makes sense later. Starseeds get intense, crazy downloads, tons of information pertaining to the world, pertaining to like their mission. So life purpose for starseeds feels to me like more like a mission. They get, it feels more kind of like a file downloading, and it takes time to do it. And they get it dumped on them all at once. and it takes some time to kind of like compute through it. But that's what it feels like to me. And that feels different than how the rest of us get them. I guess also I noticed with starseeds, like they don't really always show up as kids, which is, I think, confusing because actually, like I think twice it happened. Once I read somebody and their kid had starseed energy, and I told the mom, and she was like too freaked out, and I hate when that happens because they just get like a bad taste in their mouth. Like they didn't understand it. And, I'm very good at explaining things, and I'll sit with you and I'll explain it. Like, well, this is what I see. But I felt really bad about that one because I don't feel like she liked that. But I don't really see a lot of starseed kids. And sometimes like with you, like if I read a starseed and then they give me a picture of themselves as a kid, they're kind of wearing different colors or they're fitting in. So it seems to me like around 10 to 12 or in teen years, that's when the starseed stuff shows up a little more bright and shiny and harder to not see. They definitely are able to wear other colors to mask. I wonder if that's part of their just survival technique. Your energy does things to survive too. It's not just your body. Like your energy does things too. And so I feel like that has something to do with it. Like they know I have to fit in, so let's fit in. The other thing I noticed with starseeds is like we're all confused with why people stink. Like we're all sitting here like, why do people suck? Like we are all sitting here wondering that. But like starseeds, it's to the next level. And it is such a feeling when I read them, and then any starseeds that are listening are like, yes, you know what I mean? Like, and it's not something that they have to sit with in order to tap into like a lot of us do. Because you go throughout your day, people suck and you just move on. You're driving. Oh, people suck. Oh, you cut me off. Okay. People suck. Whatever. Okay. Cut me on. Do this. All right. People suck. Watching the news. People suck. Okay. Like we know it, but it's hard to connect to it all the time because it would be very hard to get things done. It would be very difficult for your mental health to like really sit in how bad people treat each other in the world. Starseeds cannot separate from that. So it's like constantly like, why? Like really why? Like it is such a puzzle to them why people can't figure kindness out. And that's real. It's just something they can't connect the dots on. And they sit with the profundity of that all the time. The other thing I noticed with them is, I feel like all of us here on this all our contemporary lives on this planet, and all the reincarnated lives that you've gone through here, I really feel like this is a classroom lifetime or a classroom timeline or a classroom dimension or planet or whatever you want to call it. Like, I really feel like this is where you go for some tough lessons. And I feel like a lot of starseeds visit for that. Maybe it's like some sort of foreign exchange student program or something, like it's like, oh, go to Earth, really figure out some weird stuff there, and a lot of us are in the loop over and over and over and over again. And I feel like they come in and they're like, yeah, get me out of here. So I feel like a lot of starseeds are like, I sure would like this to be my last go around, like this isn't a place I'd like to visit again. So I feel like a lot of starseeds, when they really connect to it, they're like, please don't send me back to this situation ever again. Like I'd much rather a different situation. And the rest of us are kind of in it because I feel like we've soul committed to it for some reason. But they feel like visitors. This, by the way, this dimension, planet, timeline, whatever you want to call it, feels like one of the most difficult. And I get that all the time in readings, and I get that a lot from you when I read you guys and higher self and stuff. Like we're all constantly learning something, and it's intense. Like this is intense here, and I don't feel like all the ways you can live a life with your energy is this intense. What else? Oh, I also noticed, and the thing is, like, my point is that they know they're different and they do miss home, whatever that is. They might not even have a concept of it, but they miss it. And they know that this doesn't feel like home. And like I said, they are kind of loners. They do have connections, but they do seem to be loners. What else? They have very lucid dreams. They have very psychic dreams and visions. They know they're different. Big thing is their bodies work differently. in weird ways. Meaning, I mean, just medical anomaly stuff. Like they go get a chest x-ray. They're like, why is your valve backwards? Like weird stuff like that, but you're fine, but you shouldn't be. But how this happened, like weird, or like, oh, your nerves on your face rewired. Why? Like weird stuff. Or they react differently to different environments. Like their bodies can morph and change. And so their bodies themselves feel almost more fluid and adaptable, but totally not able to be understood in a logical sense medically sometimes. Oh, what else? Oh, they usually have a very huge interest in science and stars and planets and nature and medicine, but like new AI, cutting edge. They're not scared of any of that. They love all that. And they're very open to telepathic communication from others, from the world, from animals, and technology. They're very able to kind of tune into technology and get a lot of insight from it and feel almost like a spiritual connection to it, which is interesting. Okay, when we come back, I'm going to talk about what the Starseeds from the Mystic Michaela spiritual family had to say. I like to talk about things on here that can actually help you. And Mellow Magnesium by Ned has really helped me, so I'm excited to talk about it with you today. By the end of the day, honestly, sometimes I am just so full of anxiety. I am stressed. I got all the things that I didn't do today piling up on top of all the things that I still have to do tomorrow. And I can feel my body just seize up and react. Ever since I've been taking Mellow Magnesium, I have truly experienced better sleep, less stress, less inflammation, less just overall body pain. And I realize that now there's a reason why. 75% of American adults are deficient in magnesium. It's a mineral that's essential to hundreds of functions in the body. That means that there's a 3 out of 4 chance you are deficient. And guess what? Magnesium deficiency is a root cause for a whole host of modern ailments, from anxiety and depression to insomnia and stress. Suddenly the puzzle pieces just came together for me after taking this consistently, and I realized, wow, I actually feel better. It comes in 4 really delicious flavors. There's lemon, lavender berry, that's my favorite, pomegranate, and naked. Naked's the stripped down flavor-free version you can add to your smoothies or protein shakes. I personally take it right before bed. You can go visit their website because Ned shares all of its third-party lab reports, all there right for viewing on its site. And Ned's products have over 5,000 five-star reviews. Become the best version of yourself and get 15% off Ned products with code AURA. Go to helloned.com/aura or enter code AURA at checkout. That's HELLONED.com/aura to get 15% off. Over on our Facebook group on the Mystic Michaela Spiritual Family, if you click in the featured tab, you're going to see all the deep dive threads. And I asked the Mystic Michaela Spiritual Family Starseeds to please answer some questions. And they did. And I really appreciate it because, like I said, I feel like it's really hard for Starseeds to kind of come on and talk about things and there's not a ton of them. So we're real lucky that we have a few of them over on the MMSF page, and then they generously shared their experiences with us. So let's see what they had to say. So first question was, what do you wish people knew? Okay. So we got a lot of, I'm on the wrong planet. I'm in the wrong space. I'm in the wrong time. I'm in the wrong dimension. They just, again, they know this isn't home. And like I said, a lot of things that I'm going to bring up, you're going to be like, oh, I feel like that too. I feel like that too. I feel like that too. And you sure do, because I feel like we all share energy, and you yourself, your energy is ancient. There is no beginning or end to it. And you have had experiences in different spaces, in different planets, dimensions, time, whatever you want to call it. You've done that. You've been there. So some things really resonate deeply. Starseeds, to me, just feel more new to it, attached to it, unable to ignore it because they're newer to this. So the juxtaposition is like, whoa, whereas the rest of us are like, yep, we're old hat. We've been doing this a while on this planet. Welcome. Anyways, all right. So we're regulars. They're not. You know how like when you walk into a place where you're a regular, and you can always tell a new person. It's like you're Dunkin' Donuts, and you know how things work, and you know who to ask for coffee and who to avoid to ask for the coffee, and where the bathroom is, and what their quirks are with the straws. And you can always tell when a new person walks in, and they're like, "Oh," and you're just like, "Oh man." That's Starseeds. Okay, those are the Starseeds, the new people at the place where you're a regular. Anyways, a big thing that they said on the MMSF, like, why isn't everyone awake? Like, hello, somebody said it's like Neo in the Matrix, wake up. Why are you all sleeping? How come I can see it and you all can't? Like that. Hard to connect with others sometimes, a lot of them mentioned, even though there's bonds and love and friendships, just sometimes it's hard just to connect. They're saying that we need more emotional intelligence training with humanity, which, yeah, we sure do. It's something we try to do over here. It's something I think a lot of communities try to do. More empathic communication, emotional intelligence, teaching people how to listen and respond. It was a lot of them said kindness, acceptance, belonging. Like, where are all these things? I think Starseeds are much more open to sharing, much more open to what's mine is yours, or if I have extra, you can have it. Like, not having a problem with. They're not as territorial, I guess, as us humans are, who kind of lean into our biological misgivings a little bit. I feel like Starseeds, because they're newer, they're not as subject to their biological pulls as much as the rest of us are. They were saying truth is a range, not right or wrong, but a non-binary entity. I like that. That was interesting. Yeah, like in the 3D, which we talk about a lot around here, it's, yes or no, this or that, red or blue. You know what I mean? Like in the 5D, which is a mindset a lot of Starseeds spend a lot of time in, truth is something that truth is relative. There's more than one choice. There's a lot more gray area. There's not just one or choice 2. There's like a lot of things depending on where you're at. So that can confuse them because the ego will always try to divide us. And as a society, it tries to divide us. And it does that by being like, well, pick a side. Is this person right or wrong? And it's like, well, what if it's neither and both? Like, so yeah, they identify with that a lot. Somebody said, one of the Starseeds said, like, you have access to universal wisdom. Like, you all do too. The wisdom which exists for everyone throughout time and space, tapping into the universe knowledge, the universal laws. They're talking about, laws of manifestation, laws of abundance, laws of attraction, all those things, and the wisdom which goes with it. Like, everyone needs to tap into that, to tap into that as their source, instead of places that are more ego driven as the source. This was interesting. Someone said, hey, ETs, or extraterrestrials, you can call them that, I guess, love to communicate. They talk all the time. I thought this was really interesting because growing up, my mom used to be like, they're always listening. They're always listening. It's like, who, Mom? Like the aliens. That's because you can call them a lot. You can call them whatever you want to call them. Otherworldly forms, other life forms are always listening. We would hear growing up, which is super not scary. But like, yeah. I agree with that. There's observation happening and you can pick up on it. You can pick up on their interference. You can pick up on whatever ability they have to look in that we're not aware of. You can pick up on that and we all can, but I think the Starseeds are a little bit more adept at it. They want us all to know that they're not even like super like spiritual or traditionally woo-woo. They're kind of outside of those boxes too. They don't mind logic. Again, they like the science and the medical stuff and the technology and whatnot, because there's really no difference to them between technology and like technology for them feels like a more comfortable aspect. And so that can turn into their own spiritual connections. And they want to make a difference in the world in some way. Again, they're very concerned with mission. And we all have like a life purpose. But like I said, to them, it feels more like a mission. Okay. And then I asked them, what do you feel during a crisis? It was very interesting. Somebody said precognition, like they know this was supposed to happen. Someone else said zooming in and out of perspective to understand it and cope. Someone else said to absorb the lessons. Somebody else said bad feelings start in the body. And then, they know something's going to happen, like, ooh, something bad's going to happen. And then it does. They feel it first. And someone else said that they feel the need to transmute energy for the collective. So take in the negativity, transmute it through their being, and put it back out as something neutral or positive or cleansed. And, that's all very Starseedy things to say. An overall cleanse, an overall understanding of the bigger picture. Then I asked, how do you feel during joyful moments? A lot of them said connection, connection to the universe, their innermost being. Somebody said imprinting the moment. They want to imprint, okay, what does this feel like? What am I doing? Where am I? What am I seeing? Imprinting it for later to kind of go back and reflect and review. Somebody else said a need to absorb it, to play with sunlight. Many of them said that they enjoy being alone because that's where they can kind of work things out. And somebody said lessons through nature, like in the quiet moments, they can really receive the information that they need to. Again, things we can all relate to, but I feel like with Starseeds, it's just a more intense experience and something that you can even take from today and be like, oh, maybe if I put more attention to these feelings, I can intensify them myself. Because we all have the ability to do this and feel this. Because again, we're all shared energy. But it's I always find it fascinating. There's so many ways to live this life, So it's one of the things I love about auras, but especially this episode with the Starseeds. Like, what if we lived life like we were the newbie? What if we lived life like that? What would it look like to us? And then I asked them, what keeps you up at night? And somebody said being misunderstood. They say things that are odd. They know it's odd. They know people misunderstand them. It's touchy, So I think that's funny. Their purpose or their mission, how to contribute. Big thing that kept them up at night, and a lot of them went on and on and on about, was the cruelty of people to others, to innocents, to each other, to the world, to the earth, to the planet. Why are humans so destructive? No, like really, why? No, literally, why? Like why? Like that, like not being able to grasp it. And me saying something like, because that's just how people are. That doesn't suffice. Like, why? Like, why would you destroy each other and the place that you can live? Like, why would you do that? Like, what is this destructive nature? Why do people hate? Why don't they give back? Why are broken systems that could help purposely destroyed? So a lot of that. And like I said, we're all like, yeah, seriously. Yeah, totally. Yeah, right. But they can't distract from it. Like a lot of us can, they can't. So that's a big difference. And finally, I asked them, hey, what's your perfect day? And again, nature, book. It was interesting. I got a lot of cool answers. Some people said new cultures, like they like getting lost in new cultures. Somebody said they like going to ruins, ancestral places, historical places, really old places. I do feel like the ancients understood maybe more of this than we're told they did, by the way. And Starseeds get that. So they love visiting sites and places where people kind of understood this a lot more than they do now. And what else? I liked this one. Somebody said they like to experience life like a tourist on Earth. And I thought that's a great place to end this segment, because why don't we all live life like a tourist on Earth? How much more that would just blow the lid off of just your everyday experiences, just being a tourist. Sometimes we do that. I think the easiest way to understand that is sometimes you're a tourist in your own town. Growing up by Niagara Falls as a kid, every time I went, I've seen it a gazillion times, but sometimes you were just like, all right, let's get into it today. Let's just let's just get into it. Let's wear the t-shirt. Let's buy the mug. Let's take the pictures. You know, even though I've done this a gazillion times, let's just do it. Always made it more fun. But what if we all did that, you know, but to Earth? So it's kind of like, oh my gosh, wow, people say hi to each other. Oh, cool. You know, like that's such an interesting exchange I just saw. That's so neat. So I think that's a good place to end it. Tourist on Earth. Hey, Scotty, I've been noticing you've been pushing it real hard at the gym.
Yes, this is actually true. I have been doing 100 push-ups a day.
Yes.
I have been really working on my bench press. I'm up to, you know, for people that go to the gym, I'm 2 plates on each side. So I think that's like 225 pounds.
Everyone's super impressed right now.
Yeah. No, it's true. And I haven't done that in like 10 years. It's been 10 years since I put up 2 plates on each side on my bench press.
Yeah.
So yeah, like everyone's been like cheering for me.
Yeah,
It's
people
like
are slow clapping right now.
They
the
are.
listeners, I hear them.
No, the people at the gym, I mean.
They're slow clapping too.
Oh, okay. But, you know, when you do that, you need more protein.
Yeah.
So I've been drinking the Orgain shakes.
Mm-hmm.
I put them, you know, they're in the fridge. Actually, sometimes I just bring them to the gym and I do it in between my push-up sets. Really easy to do. It's been working out great.
Yeah, they've been a real game changer for you. Our next sponsor, Orgain, it makes it so easy to get your protein and without sacrificing any taste. Orgain's founder, Dr. Andrew Abraham, believes that real nutrition has the power to make a difference in people's lives. Abraham left his medical practice and founded Orgain to create foods and beverages that offer better nutrition for people everywhere. Orgain 30-gram protein shakes are available at Costco and Orgain.com. If you want to get in on the delicious protein-packed nutrition today, head to Orgain.com/KYA and use code KYA for 20% off your order. Once again, that's Orgain.com/KYA for 20% off, and make sure you use my promo code KYA so they know that I sent you. Hey, Scotty.
Hey, guys.
Okay, so from your skeptic point of view, you've heard everything we just talked about. You heard my interpretation. You know, yes, I see different energy configurations on people, and it feels like it aligns with the Starseed business. But what do you believe all this? Like, do you believe it?
All right, so let's break this down a little bit here. Okay, so the first thing is, is there life on other planets or in other galaxies?
Right.
I would say there has to be. That I'm pretty much have to say with 100% certainty that there has to be life on other planets, right? Because there's trillions and trillions and trillions of galaxies and even more planets than that, right? And the universe is so vast and terrifies me as I'm speaking about this. But it would be kind of silly just to think that Earth is the only place where life exists.
Right. And I think a lot of serious people have backed that up.
All right. So then, so that's that one. So let's say we're going to say 100% accuracy or 99.9% that there is life out there, other life than on Earth. Okay. So then it breaks down to 2 things here, right? So there's the Brad Steiger definition, basically, which we gave in the beginning, which states that people from, let's say, Orion, you know, there's so many different star seeds from different planetary systems that they're coming to Earth with a mission and purpose. So they're kind of like have human skin.
Wearing a human suit.
A human suit, but underneath it's an alien. That was like that movie, very old movie called V, where they...
Oh, yeah.
You remember that one?
Yeah, they redid it and it didn't work.
Yeah.
Yes.
Underneath they had human skin, but underneath they were lizards. Right. They were the aliens.
Right.
And then there's what you were saying is about the reincarnation idea.
I should have fleshed that out too, because again, like I said in my spiel, this is my interpretation alone. That's just what I get. I get more the reincarnation aspect of the Starseed principle. But yeah, there are people that believe that they're actual aliens or whatever you want to call them, ETs or other life forms or these different types of alien species disguised as humans or fitting in as humans, able to kind of morph into human-like characteristics. There's that too. Yeah. Okay. So that one, the Brad Steiger version of this, I'd be more skeptical. Okay. Like, I don't think if we took someone who you say is a starseed and then we cut them open, we're going to find like lizard scales or alien scales. Right. So I'm going to have to say I don't really believe that one. Okay. And I know there's a lot of people out there that do. Yeah. And that's totally fine. I'm going to say I don't believe that.
the reincarnation one, it's weird I'm saying this one. This one could be.
Feels more logical.
It's a little more logical.
Right.
I mean, why wouldn't it be like, let's say I pass, knock on wood, this is like the second week in a row I've passed. Then yeah, why couldn't I like wind up on Polaris or something?
Well, energy is universal.
Yeah.
Energy is eternal. There's no beginning or end to it.
Right.
So, why wouldn't, if you have a choice or agency in it, pick different situations to funnel your energy into?
Yeah.
That's how I get it more.
Yeah, it does.
That's what it feels like to me when
Makes
I read
sense.
these people.
Yeah.
But I can understand why when you look out, just when you look at how the government's set up or how people are evil in the world or whatnot, it's easier to think like, oh, that's a lizard person doing it. Like, and even you,
that's true.
and be like,
that's a great point.
That just makes sense.
That does make
sometimes
sense.
when you look at it. I'm not saying it's true. I'm just saying like, I get why people could look at that and be like, wow, yeah. I can't identify with somebody who thinks like that. Like there can be no part of my humanity that links up to that. So I can see why that took off, and then it has like a world of its own.
Okay.
Like the whole people wearing human suits and doing the things or whatnot. But I don't know a lot about that because that doesn't resonate to how I pick up Starseed information. So I don't know a ton about how people interpret that they're actually aliens living here now, like they are a different species living amongst us. Like that doesn't resonate to me, and that's not something that I've noticed. So,
all right, well, here be like the how about this? Let's reverse this for a second.
Okay.
So let's say we do believe in the reincarnation thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's say I've been reincarnated on Earth, right, over and over again. I keep coming back to Earth.
Yeah.
And then my next reincarnation, I'm over in the Crab Nebula.
Okay.
So I'm on that planet there, whatever planets are going on there, and then do I think like all the people there are weird and you can't deal with it because you've been living on Earth for so long?
Reverse Starseed.
Reverse Starseed.
I think that
Seed. You're an Earth seed. Like, do you think they're having those conversations? Right? Is there a podcast right now going on in the Crab Nebula,
right,
where they're talking about Earth seeds?
Probably have better technology if that's true.
Right?
Yeah. And I'm not even, I extend this to timelines too, by the way. I just talked about this. Like I extend this to beings from different timelines, being from different dimensions. Like I think it's more than just a gazillion light years away on a different planet. I mean like from a different timeline or dimension that could be on top of our own. And they're like coming through as different energy and it still doesn't make sense. And then you could go that way too. And it wouldn't make sense to you, reverse Starseed.
Okay. Yeah. I think at the end of the day here, for me, absolutely nothing makes sense anymore. Just since I've had this spiritual journey, things just don't make sense anymore.
That's true.
I don't get it. I don't, and I could, why not? Maybe I was living on other planets for a long time, and this is my first time here on this planet. And it's just, because this planet is absolutely ridiculous. This is a ridiculous planet.
Yeah.
It's so ridiculous that,
it's really, really hard to fit in once you've had a spiritual awakening and a spiritual journey. Like, it's really hard to just talk to a new neighbor that moved in next door or like show up at the school event and talk to the other parents. Like, it gets harder. So I can see where a lot of us start resonating with the Starseed thing. And what used to be like, that's crazy, actually sounds more logical than how you were living. It's kind of like busting out of the Matrix, like in the movie, when you had the spiritual shift and the spiritual awakening, and so I feel like a lot of people latch onto the Starseed thing because it is something that does make more sense once you think about it than everything else. And that's as crazy as that sounds. Like, I believe that.
Yes. Well, let's talk about. No, I agree too. But let's switch gears.
Okay.
And we're going to talk about something a little less crazy.
Our cult.
Yeah. Well, actually, I mean, it's in the planning stages. It's not, and there's nothing official yet.
Oh.
But we are probably going on another ghost hunt.
Oh.
Nothing official. I don't want anyone to, hold me to this.
But exciting.
Yeah. So I'm in the works with Tim, the long-haired ghost hunter.
Oh, yeah.
Came to last year's event. He's been on, I think, 2 of our Halloween episodes.
Yeah.
He's got a place down in Davie, Florida. It's an old schoolhouse, the first schoolhouse in Broward County. He says this place is haunted.
Whoa.
Yeah, there are ghosts like just living in this schoolhouse. They're like at the desks. They got their pencils out and they're taking notes. That's how haunted this place is.
I believe him. Tim is so cool. When he spends a lot of time doing his paranormal, he told me this, his paranormal research at a certain spot, he says all the ghosts know him.
Yes.
So then they perform better for the equipment and for us when we come in and whatnot, because he says when you know the ghosts, they talk back. So I'm really excited to go to a place that he's familiar with.
Yeah, and I think this place, actually I might fit in with these ghosts better than some of the ghosts I have in the past.
Okay.
A lot of the ghosts in the past, like they've kicked me out.
They have.
They told me to go away. I've
choked
heard them.
you.
Yeah, they choked me. One actually choked me. And what was the Get Out, Scott? We got that on recording. Get Out, Scott, out of a woman's parlor. But I think because I was a real bad student.
Oh.
And the ghosts kind of could be mischievous. So I think they're going to like me in the schoolhouse.
Okay.
They might like my childish energy.
I think so too.
So I might fit in
Your
there.
childish energy.
so
Hello, podcast fans. If you're looking for a new podcast, if you enjoy articles, books, pop culture, and hilarity, try listening to the Brain Candy Podcast.
That's right. The Brain Candy Podcast has over 500 episodes of educational hilarity to satiate your learning needs. Just search for the Brain Candy Podcast on your podcast app or click the link in the show notes.
Well, we know how everyone waits with bated breath for the Mystic Michaela Halloween special.
Yes, and that is coming.
We know how excited you are.
Yes, we're forming our Boo Crew as we speak. We're getting our sacrifice.
Yeah.
And sacrifice in the past have been Purple Bomb Amanda.
Yep.
Jules.
Jenny.
Yeah, these are all been sacrifices, and they did go missing for long, extended periods of time after the episode. They've all been found now. They're all safe.
It's okay.
They're all doing well.
It's a risk they take.
But they know the risk. But it's worth it to them, I guess. I mean, I wouldn't be the sacrifice, but
right.
Anyway, so we got that. Hopefully, and I think Tim is coming to our event in November.
Oh, is he? Oh, that's
November.
awesome.
Yeah, he came last year, and he showed people all the equipment.
Oh my god,
he was there Friday night. He was there all day Saturday.
Tim's amazing.
Just telling people about his ghost hunting.
They were doing ghost hunting in the hotel.
They were doing ghost hunting in the hotel,
like in the billiards room and stuff.
Yeah, yep.
Like people were like, "Wow!" Like everybody loves Tim, the long-haired ghost hunter. He is just so fun. He's worth coming out November 15th, 16th.
Yes,
to hang out with Tim.
If you live in South Florida or if you live in Washington State, you are welcome to come, and all the other states in between, by the way, too. So November 15th, 16th, we have a few tickets left for that. It's a real fun weekend. We start off Friday night with a book signing. We got, I think we're doing some, they're doing some, Leanna's got some games planned or whatever. She's doing like a fun booth. They're taking Polaroid pictures this year. Bridget has a camera.
We let the Pinks just do their thing.
Yeah, the Pinks are taking, I think the Pinks are taking over.
We let them.
I finally acquiesced. Like for years, the Pinks have been like, can we do this? Can we do that?
And you're like, no.
No.
And now they beat you down.
Still no. And now they beat me down. And I'm like, you know what? Yes.
And they're like, yeah.
And I'm like, just be pink. Now that I understand the pink so well.
Yeah.
I'm just like, be pink.
Just go be pink, man.
Yeah. Be
and
pink.
we have yoga in the morning before the event.
Yeah. I remember Stephanie is going to be doing yoga.
Yes.
In the morning before the event. The event is on that Saturday.
Yep.
So there's a great breakfast before the event. Everyone eats together. And then you're going to do your presentation.
Yes.
After that, we do a couple more book signings. We have a raffle we're going to be doing. After that, everyone hits the pool, the beach.
Yeah.
They hang out together.
So much fun.
This year, we, a couple of the yellow moderators, Amy and Elizabeth, told me we need bracelets.
Okay.
This year I've been taking a lot of advice.
You have been.
I have just been going with
it. You look so proud of yourself right now.
So they told me we need bracelets.
Okay.
That say, Mr. Michaela, that you're with the group because you're at the hotel. There's other guests at the hotel. Yeah. And some people last year were saying, well, I think they're part of the cult, but I'm not sure if they're part of the Jovial cult.
You only want to talk to people in the Jovial cult.
Right. Although we always gain new members at the hotel.
No, that is true. Many people want to join.
Actually, Casey, another one of our helpers, told me that there were people that were not part of the crew that were online last year, get the book signed.
Oh,
but,
really?
Yeah, they just bought books.
They just were like,
guests
hey.
at the hotel.
Yeah. Can you imagine you're a guest at the hotel and the Mystic Michaela spiritual family gathering happens to be happening at that time?
That would be amazing.
That would be like...
You are lucky.
And you go up to the pool
lucky.
Friday night, you're just like, what in the most awesome jovial cult is this? I want to join.
Right.
There's merch.
Yes.
There's all sorts of fun people. Everyone's talking to you.
Yeah, exactly. sometimes you're at a hotel and all the baseball teams come in or the soccer teams and you're like, oh, this is terrible. Why did I book that night? There's 100,000, gymnasts running around the building.
Right.
But if you get the day that the Mystic Michaela spiritual family is at the hotel, you feel part of it. I will tell you, and I am not lying here. People might be thinking we're making this up.
We're not.
But the hotel staff always is like, could we get copies? Could we join? Could we come to the thing?
Oh, yeah.
They sneak in and watch. Actually, they don't have to. You can just come and watch.
Everybody befriends the bartender.
They do, the bartender.
Every time. I mean, that's who you want to make the friend with.
Of course.
They always become the buddy. So funny. Yeah, but there's still tickets. MysticMichaela.com on the event tab.
Right. And that's, it's tickets only for the ticket. The only ticket you need is for the breakfast and your presentation.
Right.
So if you want to come, or maybe you have a significant other that's not into the woo-woo stuff and you want to bring them, they can come to the other things. And
you can come to everything else. There's that's the only ticketed part is at 9:30 Saturday morning.
Is that, yeah. But you can come the Friday night, hang out. Saturday night, we hang out at Bo's Beach Bar. We're thinking again this year. It's not, again, 100% settled, but it's just a real fun time. Great way to meet people that think the same as you do.
Yes.
So that we have that. You got your Oracle deck coming out, but that's a little bit. That's, I think,
oh my gosh, January. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I have, the Angel Numbers book that I wrote a few years ago, I created an Oracle deck. So it's 100 cards, numbers, and it's coming out in January. I'm so excited. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Very excited about that.
It's a complimentary to the book.
Yeah, it's kind of like, you can spread them out, ask them a question. You can use it for a daily meditation practice, daily journaling practice. You can use it with friends. It's supposed to be for insight, spiritual connection, spiritual heightened communication between you and your spirit guides.
Do you think I'll be able to use those cards?
Anybody can use Oracle cards.
Oh, anybody?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Like even me?
They're just Oracle cards.
Oh, okay.
You just spread them out. You can have it. It's conversation with whoever you want it to be. Maybe your higher self, maybe your angels, maybe your spirit guides. It's a conversation between you and your potential. That's kind of what it is.
I hope the first card I pick out is 222.
Me too, Scott.
What are the odds of that? I'll tell you. 1 out of 100.
That's good. Wow. Sacred geometry.
Sacred geometry.
All right. So we always appreciate too.
Wait. I know it's a little early.
Oh.
Well, last thing here, and we could have called overtime. We probably should have called overtime because I don't know who's listening to this nonsense anymore.
Update overtime.
Yeah, this is just nonsense. But updated. We're actually going. You said things about timeline. So.
Oh yeah.
I'm actually going to shift the timeline back. About 15 minutes.
Okay.
And we're going to put overtime.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so overtime is now
you just
15 minutes earlier.
A timeline shift.
Right. So in one timeline, overtime is now.
Yeah.
But in the other timeline, overtime happened about 15 minutes ago.
So go back to that one.
Anything we say is not our fault.
Yes.
It's on you.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay, so there's that. And now I lost obviously what I was going to say. Oh, the Christmas exchange.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
You are really updating.
I know. We're really updating today.
All right.
So this year, we are going to go with, I think we're official on this. I think we could finally announce it as being official.
I think you already did this.
Oh,
but do it again.
Yeah. Well, that's in another timeline.
Okay.
That was in another timeline. I did that. Okay. All right. Well, you tell them what the Christmas exchange is, and then I'll tell them what it's going to be.
I'm still not 100% clear because you change it every time. So it's anything on QVC featured in the show In the Kitchen with David.
Right.
Which is on Wednesdays and Fridays.
I think Wednesdays, and he's got a weekend day.
I know it's Wednesdays.
Yeah. So it's
it's QVC Gifts. Now, if you aren't familiar with QVC because you're not a shut-in, like we are,
right?
you should really watch In the Kitchen with David. It's a delightful show. And anything he sells, it's like you want. But the Christmas part, like the holiday portion of it, which is starting soon, is like all the amazing foods and kitchen gadgets.
Okay. So, but again, it doesn't have to be a Christmas item,
Right.
but it has to be basically, it has to have been shown by David. If
Yeah.
the item was shown by David,
Yeah.
then that is the gift. And what is the Christmas exchange? If you haven't listened to the previous episodes, basically every year we get each other a gift.
Yeah,
and we
Scott and I.
set these rules. You explained it better than
Yeah,
I
I
could.
do.
But all right,
No, keep going.
no,
Yeah.
that's all I have.
Okay.
That's it. I'm not-
A long time ago, Scott and I stopped trying to buy each other gifts that the other one liked. Mostly because Scott didn't like anything I got him. So we decided to do, all right, let's just make it $25 budget. This is how it originally started. And we pick a theme. And one year it was like impersonal gifts. And then there's a winner, by the way.
Yes.
And, one year was ornaments. Like we've been doing this for a long time. Like you pick a theme, you set an amount, and then you exchange with somebody, but the theme is the thing. And this year, I think we upped the budget just because QVC is a little bit more expensive.
Yeah, we upped the budget.
What is it, like 60 with shipping or something?
Yeah, this year I think we said 60 plus any shipping fees.
Oh, is that okay? Because so it's $60, but then any shipping, whatever, like that.
Right.
And the theme is In the Kitchen with David. This is Scott's idea. He picked this one.
Which is actually against the rules because you won that.
Last year I
won,
picked food gift.
Yeah. No, you won the exchange last year.
Well,
by default.
We've talked about this, but yes, it was a big catastrophe, bigger than anything that happened in the Olympics this year. It was judges had a lot of issues and there was controversy surrounding it. But last year my theme was holiday food gift.
Yeah. And well, here's the thing. If you want to override the QVC with David, you can.
Oh.
Oh, no. I lost. So I get to pick.
Yeah, you lost. That's why you got to pick. And that's why it's anything featured on In the Kitchen with David during holiday time.
Right. So I would say from now.
Yours are always so specific.
Okay, so you're on the clock. Okay, you are on the clock.
All right.
I'm on the clock.
I don't know what that means.
That means from right now, anything you see in the kitchen with David is in play.
I saw these kitchen scissors.
Those are in play.
They seemed amazing.
They're in play.
A pasta maker.
In play. Everything's in play now.
The lock and seal Tupperware.
Okay.
And I really feel like one year I'm going to get you the pot stickers. They look so good.
They do look good. And is Mrs. Printables on? You can't go with Mrs. Printables.
I'm getting you Mrs. Printables.
You can? You can't do that. If anybody's still listening, I'm sorry.
All right. I'll wrap it up. This podcast is for you and about you, and we're so glad you spent some time with us today.